what's up, Artstocks? It's a quick little Neon guide for you nerds that are trying to use her, utilize her in maybe the lower ranks. I don't know, maybe even Immortal, you're watching this ship. Trying to get some playtime now on Immortal on Neon, trying to get some rank up games. I've had pretty good experience with her this act. This act. I've got to Immortal 3 playing her and utilizing basically only her. I have maybe 500 games on this agent, counting
300,
everything.
I don't know why I said 500.
And I think that mine have a pretty good idea of how to play her, how to entry with her, how to defend with her, and most importantly, how to really utilize her movement and her sheer speed to traverse the map and gain super unexpected angles, especially on a map like Breeze, where I know a lot of people struggle. I used to struggle especially because of how many angles there are and how many places you have to watch on defenses and attacker side of the map. This map can be quite hard to tell, but I think Neon is a perfect fit for Breeze because of her mobility. So let's get into it. So let's start to begin with. I'll show you guys how to do the backdash. And you start up, you jump, you press S just before you're about to hit the ground, and then you slide. You have to be holding W as you come to the air, and when you land, you just change directional keys while holding down your right click. And if you get the timing of this down, you should pretty consistently be able to backdash, even straight backdash. It's easy to just jump forward and do the dash, but you can start incorporating stuff like strafes into it. You can get pretty creative with some of the stuff you do. But apart from that, there's not really anything else that I think I need to show you. It's a pretty basic guide. So we'll get into entering. So Neon is an agent that at first looked like she's built primarily for entering. It seems like you can't default with her. You can't play her like a Jet. You can't play her like a Reyna. And people are very tempted to just, pop the E, run it down, throw the wall up, throw their stuns. Into these positions, they just dash out. They try to get as many kills as they possibly can, right? And while in low ranks, this is an acceptable strategy, and you can get away with this. It probably gets to quite free kills because newer players don't know how this agent works. If you're really trying to maximize her value, one thing in particular I think you should focus on is utilizing her speed to entry in more creative ways. As an entry fragger, your job isn't just to get kills. Your job is to find creative and new ways to take space on the map and take positions that other people can't take. That's you utilizing your kit to your fullest potential, like utilizing Jet's dash to get onto the site faster than other people can. Neon is extremely good at being fast on other people. That's her entire kit. And so on a map like Breeze especially, or even on Ascent, one thing I highly recommend and prioritize is mid control. As Neon with your wall and both of your stuns, you can really put pressure on the enemy team, especially on Breeze, a map where Viper will usually put her wall here if there's a Viper playing. You could put a lot of pressure by just throwing a wall up. And in the time it takes you to come from spawn to mid, throw your wall up, and go all the way back around, your teammates couldn't have entered site. You're way faster than them. And especially in low ranks where I know teammates would be hesitant to entry. Or in fact, they'll create such a distraction the enemy team won't even notice you in mid. You can really utilize this kind of flanking, entering playstyle to get multiple kills, while your teammate might still even be in the choke. The one thing to be aware of this is that in later rounds, as teams start to get more conscious of these plays and your playstyle, is you're gonna have to start switching up a bit. And one of the things that I quite like to do playing this agent is I'll run to my team, and they'll be set up, say I have players all the way in shot, my Sova drones out, and I've conditioned the enemy team to think that I'm going to throw my wall up, I'm going to either run to nest or run to doors. Nest is very important to control because you have all the spawn. So one thing that I might do is I might throw my wall up onto site, and using this time, run all the way around. It's important that Neon's footsteps are exceptionally quiet compared to other footsteps. To the point where I don't know if this is just enemies not being able to hear them because they're deaf, or I'm pretty sure this is mechanics in the game. I haven't tested it. I might add something in edit to show you this. But her footsteps are exceptionally quiet when she's running. Not to your teammates, but to the enemy team. And so you can throw your wall up to create distraction, throw your stuns, and in this time, you can fake an entry and run all the way to mid, or all the way to nest, and try and catch someone out off guard. This works especially well in low ranks, or mid elo, because
Almost
players
out.
will see the wall and assume that Neon's here. When the Neon comes with, people will tilt. They'll go, well, why the fuck is the Neon in my spawn? You get 3 kills for free, you win your team the round. And something like this is very important to note. This agent is a lot about playing mind games with your mobility and your rotations, because you have the fastest rotation time in the game. You have to be creative with your playstyle. It's not to say entirely that this agent cannot be used to straight up entry. Her utility alone is very self-sufficient. I don't think this is an agent at all that needs babysitting, and I think in upcoming pro games, especially maybe in EMEA, this agent will be played a shit ton. I mean, don't quote me on that, but purely because all of this shit is crazy. An on-demand double stun, you have 2 of them, that could be 4 stuns, the ability to rotate faster than anyone else, and a wall that covers 2 sides of sight and gives you a window to 1v1. So you can entry directly if given the chance, and one thing I like to do on B is, on maps like this, go into a custom game, find some angles where your stun work, but throwing this against this wall, when you're running in against here, it should bounce and stun that corner. So one thing I like to do is throw my wall up. You can do this while you're running. Throw a stun there, and then I like to run back here and take this kill backside. And that's really good control. And if you can't get this kill backside, you have your entire wall to play around. You can, assuming you have a Viper as well, you can play around this pillar, you can play around here, you can clear here, here, everywhere, and you can get to behind site before your team even on site. That just gives you so many opportunities to steal kills, to steal space, to make pressure. And even if your team doesn't follow up on you, the pressure of a Neon on site alone is scary enough. The one thing I see people fumble a lot is her ult, and people think that her ultimate is one of the weakest of the game. Actually, now that I reinstate that, and that's probably a minority of people. In low ranks, I think people think this is busted. This maybe mainly applies to high rank players. But utilizing the full speed on her meter and her ult to just be able to run everywhere is crazy. You can run all the way up mid, throw your wall. You can do this on any map. Throw your wall up, keep running, throw your stuns if you want. You can slide ult, your slide resets, and you have a whole nother meter to work with. You can flank here, take space here, take CT, and this is a shit ton of pressure. Your teammates can get the entire site for free, because everyone's focused on you in their spawn. You're shooting your fucking Pinoy beam. These guys don't know what the fuck to do. And that alone, the pressure alone from her ultimate being up, is enough to make it one of the best ultimates in the game. And rivaling Jet's Bladestorm, especially the fact that you can use it on eco rounds as well. It's a powerful eco round tool. If you have no gun, this thing will do the job for you as long as you can track. I recommend going into aim labs or playing some deathmatch or fucking man, even loading up Overwatch and playing some Tracer just to learn how to track properly so you can utilize this agent's ultimate. Because trust me, when you get this down, you will never have a round with this ult where you don't get a kill, where you don't make space. And not getting killed with this ultimate isn't the worst thing in the world if you're in their spawn, as long as you don't have the spike. So the basics of entering on attack done and dusted, I'd like to talk a little bit, touch a bit on Neon's defense and how she can play as an extremely passive agent on site with her stuns, or it can be an aggressive agent taking space away from enemies when your team needs it the most, or when they're in a pinch. For a ranked playstyle, I think this agent is especially consistent on defense, because you don't need to worry about conditioning the enemy. Your tools are right in front of you, and you have things that other duelists don't have. While her slide isn't particularly useful to escape situations, it is useful to engage them. So taking aggressive fights like this, it's incredibly hard to catch this Neon sliding out, or even with a judge. The amount of times where I bought a judge, slid around here with my judge, and killed 4 people is incredible. Spots like these where you can get into chokes and play with shotguns and one-shot weapons, even an operator is good on Neon if you can utilize her rotations effectively. It's just crazy good for this agent. You need to be finding ways to take space away from people, and if you can't do that, I recommend playing with your teammates and playing off your stuns in positions where you can trade them. One thing I like to do, especially on pistol round, is take a teammate in this. If you have a Chamber's highly played. Chamber in this corner, he can TP out if he's engaged, and then Neon in this corner, you have 2 stuns to work with. You break the arrow here, the Chamber takes the fight, you can bait him or you can peek off him. The Chamber TPs, you can take your kills, take your shots, and then you can run around here. You have stuns to play with. They come to put on site. You stun, you fight, you stun, you fight. and it's really easy to do. It's way more effective than a Reyna buying flashes and using flashes, because the flash gets broken instantly. You can't break a stun, you can only dodge it, and when someone's planting, it's pretty hard to dodge the stuns. As for a more aggressive playstyle, I'll touch a bit on it with the judge play. Contesting middle, contesting areas is specifically good because Neon can just run. If she feels like she's in a fight, if Neon feels like she's in a position where she's potentially at risk or taking fatal damage, she throws her wall up, she runs away. You can use your slide to get out if you want, and you can use your stuns to slow people. It's really about forcing presence and making people aware that you're there. And because of the speed, let's say that, for example, I'll give a scenario. There's 3 people pushing mid. You tell your team you're going to throw your wall at mid to make pressure. You run out to the side. They start spamming you. You have so many options here. You can run round, take an engagement on elbow, fight elbow, or you could use the space from this wall, walk out hill, slide, and you have an off angle to play with. Now, granted, plays like these are extremely aggressive, and in ranked, your teammates might get pretty fucking mad at you because, you know, in ranked people don't really understand more aggressive playstyles in defense. But this agent is meant to be creative and it's meant to be flexible. Now, all this being said, Neon is an agent that I don't think you should pick up if you struggle with confidence. Neon is, in a sense, coin flippy, but with the right strats and the right mechanics, I think she can be utilized and be a very effective duelist in the multitude of situations. And specifically on Breeze. Hopefully I can inspire some of you to pick up Neon, play her on your ranked games. Hopefully not throw. Hopefully don't get mad at me for your team is picking Neon on throwing. But I think she's an agent that deserves more love. As she's not underpowered in any sense. She's not a Phoenix, she's not a Yoru. She has some good things about her kit, and I honestly think there's a good chance that we could be seeing a Chamber Neon Jet meta sometime in the future. Thank you for watching.